Well, hello everyone. This is Jurgita with Magic Pound Crafts, and today is May 16th, and I'm starting my second part of Stitch Mania 2021. So as you can see in front of you, some of you might recognize it's a Brooks Books Stitches alphabet. And the reason I'm pulling this out again, because I already had it, I believe, in beginning of the month, is that tonight is one part of the homework is due that I can use this for. So needed something with at least 8 parts in WIP. And as you can see, all of these letters are separate little parts. So there's way more than 8 parts. So I've decided to pull her out, and I need 300 stitches, which I'm going to be using all kinds of other games too, and it's only 300 stitches. So I'm hoping to have it done today and start on something else that I originally planned. So this is letter I for intarsia and tertia for something. To me, it looks like I is for sweater. With the patches and the things sewn in. So there's going to be some beads involved, and I can't remember if it's going to be Kreinik or not, but something's going to be in. And this is where I'm starting right now. As you can see, it's just mainly part of the border is done, and you can sort of like see shapes of the that sweater thing. So I guess we'll meet in a second to see how much 300 stitches can do. And again, I just couldn't stop after those 300 stitches, and I went ahead and finished the whole thing. So it's all fully done. As you can see, there's only one area where it was marked for backstitching. It's to separate those ice cream cones, and that was it. So it's like I did in two stitches, and you can do in one. But there's also beads. So there were 3 colors. 2 were petite. So is this very light blue and very light pink petite beads, and there were some scattered pink ones inside, and there was like a regular bigger size on the top and here on the bottom surrounding that. So that was it. My letter I is all done as far as I can tell. I tried to zoom in and provided like a picture what it's supposed to look like on Brooks Books website, and I did not see any more like a unmarked backstitching done. So I think that is all done. And since I have a couple more hours left, I figured I might as well start on my one of those big must-do whips. And this would be my spoiled child. So this is the picture that I've printed myself. It's the company is slightly changed, so she shortened it instead without the DNA, so it's only Astra. And I can't wait until I reach the people themselves, like the main humans and the dog in here. Right now, I'm still at the top row in here, so it's like around here would be the top row. And this is what I have before today, what I've done, and show you all the way from a beginning. And it's gonna be big. You can see by my hand how big is long is gonna be again, and it's on the 18 count. So my if I remember correctly, ends somewhere like right here, this area. So there's going to be several times for me to stitch on this, and the first row will be fully done. So it's going to be, this is the short part of the painting, and it's going to be taller a bit more. As you can see, you can tell the furniture here. I'm doing with the full stitches, so those shadings of course a little bit stronger than in the picture of my printer, but there's going to be more brownish in here, and probably another row is going to have this kind of same stuff. Nothing happening in the middle part. It's just a mix of colors in here. And just want to continue and go with this door. And we'll see how much I can get. I need a minimum 1000 stitches by the end of this month. So let's get on with it. And today is the 18th of May, and I'm ready to start a brand new project, brand new whip, and it's Java by Hands On Design. And I'm gonna try to have a separate video just for this one. So if you like to watch how the whip gonna get in the progress and go to the end, you'll have a chance for that. But anyway, this is the sort of like a cube black that I'm gonna start, and because I love a coffee, so I have to have something with the coffee. So in the kit came with a little wool piece of fabric that's going to be sewn on the very top, so I'm not going to need it until I'm doing the finishing. I have all pins that you could get from just another button company, and they are all the same length actually, and just you can put in any way you want. I picked the fabric that was suggested, and it's 28 count Brandywine linen, and I got the fat quarter, and I have enough left for anything else. So after I cut up all the pieces, this is what I still have left to use anywhere else. So needed 3 pieces, 2 of 10 by 10 little squares for a top and a bottom, and 1 long one that's gonna go all around and then sewed on one corner only, and it's 8 inches by something. It says how to cut by 23, so it's written right here. So that's what I'm ready to start. So before I get into it, I wanted to show you how much I've done on my spoiled child in the past few days. And here it is. So as you can see, I've reached all the way to the edge. So that's what the edge. And I guess to fit in this Almanic frame, I left only 2 inches off the each side on the left and the right to hold on, so I could fit in this Almanic frame. So I've done more than 1500 stitches, and as you can see, this corner already started filling in more, and that's where I decided to stop. So you can see a little bit more of the armoire lines that are sort of like popping out, and again, nothing much to see in this big project, so it's just a brownish and some mixed in with the blue colors, and that's what I spent last almost 2 days to work on. So I'm gonna set this aside because I've done more than my required 1000 stitches, and then I'm ready to start on my Java. So I'm gonna have a little bit more coffee and get on my Java. So we'll meet soon. So it's the next day, and as you can see, I put in quite a bit, 671 stitches by my calculations, and that included all that back stitching that I counted, and all of other parts. So what's left to do on this, when you can see on the top, all of these wiggles are gonna be connecting with the steam from coffee pots from all the sides, and the only parts left is to finish up the Smyrna stitches in here. So as you can see, I already started with watermelon color, and this is what it looks like as of right now. So I'm gonna set this aside, and I'm gonna work on something else, and let me show you what. And that's gonna be my 2 kings by Churlonis painting and pattern done by Astra. So to compare again with the real picture, sorry for dog bark. I've done the faces like up to here, so we're just below the chin of this king. So I'm going now in the next row, so it's very exciting. So should have some of the whiteness here. It's probably not going to be as bright as it looks in the printed version, but this is what I'm starting. So it's the row third, and we'll see how it goes. And this is what it looks like all unrolled. So it's not a lot of the fabric is gonna be used, so it's we'll see how it's gonna look, because I'm gonna wrap this up, I'm gonna roll it, and you're not gonna see the tops of that picture. So this is where I'm starting, and I need to put about the 2000 at least stitches in this. So it's gonna take me several days. So you'll see in a second how it turned out. And now it's about 2400 stitches in, although it's kind of hard to tell. So I finished first part, which is about 1500 stitches, and started another grouping of about 1500, and of course I did not finish it. So as you can see, the whole top is rolled up, so I can continue stitching. And just more of the outfits of the king on the left is going in, and there's as you can see, kind of scattered pattern a little bit starting to show up. And as of right now, it's just over 48% already done. Today is 25th already of May, and Stitch Mania is coming slowly close to the end, and I have what I think 6 whips that I wanna touch on. But this was my last must stitch this month BAP, and I'm glad I stopped and finished my goal for this month with this piece, and I'm ready to continue on with Stitch Mania. I did not stitch last week from Thursday till Sunday at all, because we went to my mother-in-law's house to do the yard sale, and it was so exhausting but successful. And in 2 days I made like 30,000 steps plus. So that was my my record upon the record. And I brought some more stitching patterns with Mill Hill Kids, and she had a lot of cross stitch magazines, like a whole yearly collection, and I might put it up that on the stitch groups for those who looking for them, but that's going to be sometime in the future. And to go back to my stitching, I think I'm gonna grab next is this one. If you remember, it's called Etude with Strawberries by Luca S. It's a kit, and it's ready to be stitched. I took it with me on a trip, but I did not put even 1X in this. I was so tired. But I want to do at least a little bit on this, stitching on a fabric that was given in the kit. And as you can see, some strawberries already popping out. And this is what it should look like. So when you look up together, there's no backstitching involved, and just probably gonna keep continuing to the left. Probably not gonna do a lot of stitching, just wanna put in some. So we'll see how much I can do. Well, I'm hoping at least 100 stitches to do, and we'll see how it goes. So you'll see in the blink of an eye how it turns out. And it's already afternoon on the next day, and this is what the picture is supposed to look like. So I had like up to this area put in my frame, and here it is. This is what I've done since yesterday, and I have just over 350 stitches done in here. So mainly just put in some greens, which I could use for Magical Stitches homework, and then I started to fill out the strawberries. So this is very last strawberry in the kit, and as you can see, there is still enough the fabric left for the framing to do. So this is what it looks like right now in this area, and I think that's where I'm gonna leave it for now, because on one of the games we needed to pick for like 3 days and stitch on one work and do like a marathon, and we get extra points for other stuff. So guess what I picked? I picked my George. And I'll remind you, this is what the whole picture is gonna look like, and my piece is just like a corner of the sky, maybe about that size. So I'm hoping to see more of the lighter blue colors coming out right here on the bottom, but mostly it's like a grayish color. And this is what it looks like right now. I have 82.3% done. So this is, as you can see, 9th row, and I've done already several pages here, and the 10th row is where the stitch is happening. So that's going to be twice as fast going to be last row. So I'm gonna continue and going, and I don't know how much I'm gonna do. I'll also gonna try to put in at least 10 or 50 stitches and my other works that I've planned for Stitch Mania. I think I have 2 whips to touch for previous manias and several still brand new whips. So that's where I'm gonna start, and I guess we'll meet in a few days with more of my George done. And it's exciting to getting so much more ahead than I planned. And so here is the 100 stitch line, and we'll see how much I'm gonna add. And today already is the afternoon of 29th, and look how insanely stitchy it was this past few days. So as you can see, the whole row is practically halfway done. This is a half mark that I had marked before, and all of this is all stitched up. So when I looked at my total monthly stitching, I did over 13,000 stitches, which started with a little bit towards the end of the 8th row and practically half of the 9th row. So you can see I'm still going row by row, and there's more blue color starting to show up, and I think I sort of see like a vertical lines, but I think it's because of my drawing, so my eye already cannot unsee. But once these lines are gone and it's washed out, it will be fine, because I'm still, as you can see, sort of like a feathering out and mixing up. So when I stitch this part, I'm gonna be filling in, connecting with the previous column in here, and same is with the below. So when I looked at my pattern keeper, you guys, like you can see the whole piece how it was looking, and this all in gray is what's stitched, and looks like so tiny bit left to do. So like, you know, 2 months, if I went fast stitching again, 2 months and I would be done. But I needed to stitch a lot this month because of some challenges that I needed in some games to stitch as much as possible, but I don't think I can do again in June. So I'm gonna be much slower hopefully on this piece, because other pieces, other whips didn't get chance a lot to be worked on. But in those few days when I worked on my George, I managed to stitch a little bit on my few whips, and I'll show you that in a second. I don't think I showed it to you. If I already did, my apologies. But this is Etude with Strawberries, and it was my Stitch Mania piece. So as you can see, it's a bunch of strawberries, very summery, very different color palette than my George. and I've decided to put in my frame and go all the way to the left side. And here we are, and this is very last strawberry. There's nothing to stitch past that, so just I think I'm gonna just keep next time going on this area, picking one color and just finishing it all off, and then grabbing next color and continuing. So I'm happy I put some stitches in this piece because I like it much more right now than when I was very in the beginning, when I got frustrated with pattern somehow. I don't know why, but right now it's much easier to stitch, and I'm kind of missing stitching in this, but mania is mania, and that's what it is. So I worked on this a little bit, and now I'm gonna show you my next piece. So here's my next mania piece that I'm hoping to finish all my stitching around the middle here this year. I wouldn't be doing any beads yet. I don't think I'm ready for it, but this is stitch over 1, and it's a tiny, gonna be 2.5 by 2 with the wooden egg, everything included in the kit. And I did, I think, like only 20 stitches, but it's still some kind of progress. So as you can see, it's pretty much gonna be like this tiny bit, like right under flower, it's gonna end. So there's quite a bit of a fabric still gonna be left, and this I left as a marking for a top part, and just grabbed the green color and just went through the whole piece. So that's pretty much where it's gonna end, somewhere like here. So it's a skinny small, and it's stitching over 1 with the full crosses, no back stitching yet done. It's gonna be some, because you can see like a golden color here happening, and outlining of those wiggles in here, but the main thing for me is to stitch it. So this is very good as like a purse project, because if you have a good light and steady hand to take, because it's so small. So this is also what I worked on in these past few days, and I think I'm gonna set my Georgia aside, put these away, and I'm gonna start something new today, at least a start. So you'll see in a second what I decided to grab. Can you guess? And I wonder if you guessed on this whip, future whip, my new start. It's Dark Shadows by Sue Hillis Designs, and I fell in love with them as soon as I saw them at Needlework Galleria in St. Charles, Missouri. I think a few years ago, and somehow just waited and waited until the perfect timing, and it's for this Stitch Mania. So I'm gonna start one of these pieces. I don't know, maybe this or this, and I'm already all set up. It gonna need only 7 different colors of threads, and I picked one of the recommended fabrics, and it's 20 count Peoria purple linen by Weeks Dye Works, and I'm gonna be stitching over 1. The fabric is very pliable, very soft, as you can see, very moving around. So I'm hoping my excess gonna turn out well. It also includes not only crosses, but it's gonna have also back stitching, and I think even some like a loose threads, like a tassels hanging around. So we'll see how it all works out. Since I'm going to be doing them over 1, there is a separate part of the pattern drawn for the like a cat, if I want to do over 1, or if I want to do over 2. So there's going to be, like I said, some back stitching involved, but not a lot. And there might be a possibility of putting like a different color beads in the eyes of the creatures to kind of give a little bit extra eerie glow to that. So this is what I'm starting on this Stitch Mania day, and we'll see how far ahead I can move with this piece. Well, it's the same night, and I actually finished my first ornament from this series. So as you can see, I've done this little ornament in here. So by my calculations, I might have missed calculating by few maybe X's, stitches, but about 765 stitches in total got in here, and that's including couple beads and a back stitching. So let's look a little bit up closer. So as you can see, I've done in one over one stitch with two threads of black, and there were only few like a gray color areas that sort of like a putting a shine on this um, candle holder or whatever it has supposed to be. And there were tiny bit of the back stitching that included just for the legs of these crows. And for the eyes, we could I could have done just a like a French knot as it was suggested, but I wanted to try and do beads. Of course, I could have done beads in here hanging too. I might do it another time on a different fabric. She suggested few different color fabrics that would be like orangey also, but I've decided to do the beads. As you can see, those eyes like are shining in here, and I've tried different sizes, and you can see back stitching like a couple legs sticks in here and in there. So it's just the back stitching was done with one thread. It was kind of harder to do those X's because the fabric was moving, and with the two threads I've done, that's what it looks like right now. So for the beads, actually I've looked at the size 11 and it was a little bit too big, so I picked, here's the number, it's 42011, so it would be like a petite color Mill Hill bead that I had, so it's like a golden color, and they were perfect size. They're smaller than typical Mill Hill beads that you use, but that's what it gave us the shine. So that's what it turned out to be. I think it looks good, although what you see in the camera is a little bit brighter color. The purple is tiny bit darker in the fabric. So that was very exciting, and start and finish in one day doing Stitch Mania, that's exciting. I haven't done that in several months. But it was tiny project, so this is what it looks like, and I don't know when I'm gonna grab a next one, but it might be something different, not with the birds. So there's the many choices to do, and you'll see that when I do it. So that's it for right now, and you'll see in a second, I guess, what I'm gonna do next. Well, hello and welcome. This is Jurgita with Magic Pan Crafts, and today is May 30th, 2021, and as part of my Stitch Mania, I want to start this brand new kit. It's by the dimensions, and it's called Coral Peonies. So I wanted to do something more bright, more flowery, more like a spring summery kind of style. So let's go a little bit over this kit. So designer's name is Rachel Perry, and it's a counted cross stitch. It's supposed to be 16 by 11 inches, and here is the number if you need to see the number for this kit. And of course it says frame not included, and it's made in China, as most of our latest do, and the kit was made, you can tell already, November 15, 2013. So it's been a few years since this was done. And let's see what else it tells us, that it's gonna have 14 count ivory Aida needle and instructions, and all of these threads, beautiful threads. So to look at the threads, you can also tell how much of each is gonna be, like all those little lines means how many skeins is going to be here. It typically is, as it say, 36 inches or 91 centimeters in the length, each of them. So you see all those nice, very flowery colors. So let's open this up and check it out. And this is when you pull out from a packaging, so very nicely folded in. Threads are always like wrapped up around. So let's see how much we have in. Oh my goodness. So let's look at the threads. As you can see, there's like 2 long pallets collections, and here it keeps going, and at the end. So that's what the colors are. And here is the fabric. Usually needle is either put in inside or loosely. So as you can see, it's going to be loosely, and the fabric is not finished around the edges, so I'll have to do that so it does not unravel. Fabric is fairly stiff, and there's also a little bit extra. Sometimes when they can't fit in here, they just put extra and they mark which color it is in here. So as you can see, like this green one, so there's some strings of these colors gonna be in here. So that's, wow, lots of nice bright colors. So those are the colors and the fabric. So let's see what else is hiding and where. So it's just the typical instructions how to get started if you're like a first timer, how to pull out the strands, and it's working order, and it's in different language. And here is the needle. It was inside, so they're giving us 1 needle in here, and it looks like it's slightly like tiny bit bent or something interesting. So the pattern, part of the pattern is inside. It tells you on the back how to do some of the stitches, so I guess there's going to be some specialty stitches involved, and the back stitching, of course, because it's 3D. So the pattern is all colors and all done like that. Oh, there's another needle. So they included 2. So this is smaller size. So usually when they mark it, as you can see, they mark it on the plastic and different markings. So I guess that's with the cross stitch, and this is more pointy one, so that might be for like doing back stitching and stuff, or specialty stitches. So that's cool. That's the 2 needles. And let's see what else. So for stitches, we're gonna have regular cross stitch, half back stitch, couching, lazy daisy variation, and French knot. So those are going to be specialty stitches. And on the other sheet, there's all what colors you need for what, and the names of it. And it's very easy to understand, like a code. What you have the numbers, then you have a color, and the markings, how it looks on a pattern, and like for regular stitching or half stitching, and these are usually like for back stitching, and you can see like lazy daisies and stuff. So that's very easy to understand, and it should be another part, yes, another part of the pattern in here. So that's all there is. So don't know how long it will take, but it's gonna be something bright, something pretty, and I hope you'll enjoy stitching this along with me. So I'll see you in a second. And it's the next day, so this is how much I've done. So just over 1,000 stitches. As you can see, I've started to the from a corner right here, and just went a little bit in there. So there's gonna be some more light colors, more rouge colors, and I believe I used about 12 different colors, and some of them were just blends of several different ones in the light area and with the pinkish sort of, so it kind of blends in a little bit better. I did my colors on the thread card into a braid, so it would be easier for me to pull out the threads when it's needed. So I pretty much just pull out the color, and all of them right now were 2 threads, either 1 and 1 of blends or 2 as a total, and I just pulled out and stitched until it was finished. I did not do any back stitching or anything like that yet, but I might be doing once I finish like an area, so I don't have to have it all left for the very end of the game, the whip, because there's going to be a lot of stitching later involved in that, and I don't want to leave it for the end. So this is what it looks like right now, and I'm happy to say that it's already 3% done of the whole work, and it's considered a full coverage piece because there's not even 1x in here that is left on the fabric. So if I wanted to, I could have changed this in a different fabric, not Ada, or maybe 28 count if I wanted something like a softer fabric, if I did not like to work on Ada. So this is where I'm gonna leave it. I'm very happy that I've started. I put in some of those bright colors in already, so that was very fun to stitch with, and my heart was soaring seeing all those nice and bright colors. So that's where I'm gonna stop for now, and I don't know when I'm gonna pick it up again, but you'll see soon, I guess. So let's continue. And since it's the last day of the month, magical school, magical stitches, I need to stitch on this piece for more than 300 stitches if possible today to finish off my grouping of set monsters. So I know I started this work this month also before, and now I need to finish it. So while it's still not nighttime, I'm gonna hit it, and this is what it looks like right now as of this moment. So as you can see, I think just a little bit more back stitching left here to do, and I've already started before working on the castle full back stitching. It's not all done, and as you can see, there's empty spots, and there's going to be some more greenery in here, and finish off some of the clouds when you can compare like all those clouds here. It's gonna be filled in. So I don't know where exactly I'm gonna start, but I know I have to put in those stitches. So I guess I'll see you again in a second with finishing part of Stitch Mania. So now it's June 1st, and I wanted to show you what I finished working last night. So in total, I think in all that time, as a second round here, I did about 750 stitches. So it's just started filling out the tree and the greenery in there. I have not touched any back stitching or doing anything else around here. So mainly there were mostly full stitches and some like a half stitches to kind of fill in the spot. There was a little bit left of one color in here to do, so I already finished a couple of the couple marks, symbols in the pattern, so that's exciting. And it shows now program that I have just over 2300 stitches left in total, and it seems like where it's all gonna be, but it's not a tiny bit, and there's still a few French knots, like about 14 left, some back stitching, and of course a lot of half stitching, and some like about 800 full stitches left. So this is where I'm gonna end my Stitch Mania. And overall, I could say that out of 17 possibly planned, I did 15. So I did not start one new that I wanted to start, and I did not continue my specialty stitching, Gardens of Semiramis. So rest of it went well, and I did a lot. I did not plan to work so much on the George, but that what it worked out as. So that's over. I'm very happy with this year's Mania, of course, and just wanted to show you something that I got in the mail. And I won a pattern, Mirabilia pattern, via Instagram from Amanda in Australia. If you can't figure out about this koala, I love chocolate, so I have not opened until I wanted to show you, because my whole family is waiting for me to rip it open. But I was I just keep looking at this, so I'm sure it's gonna be amazing, and probably gonna save the packaging as a memory. So the pattern was this. I did not have this in my collection, in my place whips to stitch, so it's very exciting. Probably would be my very first flower mirror, or Nora Corbett probably should say, and it's called the Sweet Pea, and that's what it's gonna be, and it's gonna be in my future possible whips. I don't know if it's gonna be this year or I'm gonna start the next year. And she also included even more goodies, and of course, like for stitchers, sewers, that's those I can make into magnets or sew it on. It's called Stitch in Time Dresser Up, and some threads which I've never tried before, and thread works here, and now Dinky Dyes silk, Mango Tango right here. Beautiful, beautiful silk. I'll need to figure out what I want to make it with it. And another color was Aussie Jewels. That's exciting. That's Aussie colors. And couple of let's see, which ones? Cottage Garden threads. Very interesting in color, and interesting group. Not group but maker, so we're gonna see, and it's Australian, so that will be very exciting to try out. Feels well, it's a cotton, so it feels a little bit different than the silks, but it's beautiful. Neutral colors would go well on like a samplers. And there's another color, Lotus, so it's a flowery kind of threads. And this is also something new, Earth Fiber, Planet Earth Fiber, I guess, silk, and that's I guess it came from Stitch Box. I've never had Stitch Box either, so that's gonna be exciting to see. So thank you, Amanda. That was amazing. All those extra goodies were also very nice surprise. And after this, I can finish my video and start digging in and share with my family this koalas. So again, thank you, Amanda. That was a very nice surprise, and can't wait to start stitching, picking out the fabric for this. So I think this fun note, I'm gonna wrap up my Stitch Mania. I have quite few works planned for June, and according to my 44 new starts in this year, I'm probably gonna start 4 new future webs or projects in June. So you'll see, I guess, and I can leave you guessing which ones it's gonna be in the next video. So leave a comment about any of those webs that I showed you in this part of the video or previous one, and maybe you're stitching one of them, and which one you guess that I would be working the most. And any other comment I would love to see and talk to you about it. So if you have any questions, also put it down below in the comment section. Don't forget to click like, and I will be grateful if you subscribe if you haven't done so before. So until the next time, it's starting June. Happy 1st of summer day, and today I believe it's International Children's Day, so go hug your kids. Which I'm gonna do too. One of my kids started a job today, another one starting tomorrow, so that's very exciting and things to do. So until the next time, this was Jurgita with Magic Pan Crafts saying bye. Ate.